Hi everyone, so I've actually moved. It might be a little bit echoey in here actually, but this is the first video I'll film in the new studio, and I'm gonna have a video showing me setting it up. It's taking me quite a while to get everything ready and adjust. I have a new carpet coming. It's a completely different color from the one I used to have, but I thought I would do a little question and answer video just to like warm my channel back up because I haven't posted in a couple of weeks. So I went on Instagram and I asked you to ask me questions, and I'm going to answer some of them. Not all of them, because there's a lot, but I'm going to answer some of them. What advice would you give someone who wants to start making art videos on YouTube? This is interesting because I haven't really it's been a really long time since I started my channel. I started it in 2013. So that would be 9 years ago, which is a really long time. I've been making videos for a really long time. I've been at it for quite a while, almost 10 years. That's actually crazy to think about. Like it's just become like a part of who I am as a person. So the advice I would give is something that helped my channel grow a lot is to post consistently. Once I started posting once a week and tried to like make my thumbnails better and added more tags and tried to like make things that I saw that other people liked to see, I started to get more views and more subscribers when I started to do that. But you don't want to fall into the trap of only doing things because you think they're popular and not actually because you want to be doing them. So nowadays I try to do things that I actually want to do. I try to balance it with what I think people want to see, and it's kind of hard to keep that balance sometimes. But basically, I would recommend to start with doing something that you actually want to do and that you're excited about, and keep going with that, because eventually, like, burnout does happen, and if it's something that you don't even really enjoy doing that much, the burnout will be much worse than if it's something that you really like to do. So for instance, I used to do a lot of challenge videos, and I didn't actually really enjoy doing them that much. They helped with views sometimes, but eventually I switched to doing more like long form sketching and talking videos, and I enjoyed those a lot more because I just felt like more connected to what I was making, and it was going towards my sketchbook, which is like an ongoing project that I really enjoy. I just really like the idea of sketchbooks and having a place where you can flip through and see all the kinds of things you used to draw and what you're working on, and you have like old sketchbooks you can look at and see your progression. I just think sketchbooks are a great tool, so that's why I like making videos about them. So I'm trying to embrace that more. Also, make sure that you have enough lighting when you're filming. It can be really hard to get lighting. Right now I have some natural light because the sun is shining through my window, and I think it's slowly fading, so I hope I can finish this video before the sunlight goes away, because then otherwise I don't really have any other lights set up in here. Because my other studio, I had like big lights. I still have the lights, they're just not set up. It's like a bunch of boxes in here right now. If you're really serious about it, I would invest in like a simple point and shoot camera that can film decent footage in bright lighting. You can even use your phone. Some phones are really good quality for filming. Sometimes I use my phone. It's a Samsung Galaxy S10. It was an expensive phone, so it might not be accessible for everybody, but if you already have a nice phone with a good camera, that can be an option too. And make sure that your audio quality is decent as well. But all that stuff comes with time, the fine-tuning of the quality of everything. The most important thing up front is to just start as soon as you can, and don't wait for the right moment, because it'll never feel like there's a right moment if you just keep waiting for it. Whenever I want to do something, I like to start it immediately. I don't like to wait for the first of a month or for like a certain date or anything like that. I just like to begin and try my best with the tools I have, and then acquire more tools as needed. And that can be easier said than done, but I think the most important thing is to just start and try to base your sort of format off of the other videos that you enjoy watching, and try to make videos that you would like to watch, because then you're going to feel more passionate about it. This is a really long-winded answer because it's kind of hard to answer. I also use Adobe Premiere to edit my videos. I used to use Movie Maker, but that's pretty limited. There's some free software out there too. Basically, I hope that answers it. You want to start with something you're passionate about and just try your best with the tools you have and acquire more tools as needed. Don't worry about it being the best quality possible when you first begin, because no one's first video is their favorite video. What are your favorite color combos? Right now, our living room is, our couches are this light green with mustard yellow and pinks and like white. And I actually really, really like the green and pink combo with yellow. So I think I really like that right now. I've also always loved orange and purple. I think that's like one of my favorite color combinations, especially in the fall. I really like orange and purple. I just think they look really nice together. There's basically no color that I don't like. The only colors I don't like are the really like dark saturated like royal blues, bright deep reds, dark saturated greens. But they can look nice depending on what you put them beside. So I think any color can look nice, but right now I've been really liking like a minty greens, pinks, baby colors like baby blue, baby pink, yellow. I like rainbows, but I think like greens and pinks and yellows I've been really liking. Okay, next question. Are expensive sketchbooks worth the price tag? It depends. It depends on the brand, and it depends if it's worth it to you. I know it like hurts to spend like $30 on a sketchbook. I personally wouldn't spend more than $30 because I think you can find good enough stuff for like the $20 to $30 range. But are they worth it? It just depends if it's worth it to you. The Moleskine sketchbooks are like in the $20 range. And the regular ones with blank paper, I wouldn't recommend for a sketchbook because they're really, really thin and you can't really do much with them. They're kind of see-through. There's a lot of sketchbooks around that price range. I think some of them aren't really worth it because you can find cheaper alternatives that perform similarly. But a lot of the sketchbooks I've been using have been like gifted to me by friends or family or brands. And I haven't actually like purchased my own sketchbook to use in a while. So I'm kind of like out of touch with what kinds of sketchbooks are out there, but I did recently buy one for like $30 and it's a square sketchbook with like watercolor pages. So it's basically like my ideal sketchbook, so I'll see if it's worth it. I think it is worth it, but like they will definitely perform well, but it's like, do you need that high of a quality for a sketchbook? It depends if like that's what you want out of it. If you go through sketchbooks really, really fast, like multiple sketchbooks a month, you might want to get cheaper sketchbooks, but if you go through them kind of slowly, more expensive ones might be more feasible for you. But if you don't care about the way the sketchbook looks, I find a lot of the like expensive sketchbooks, it's because of the way they're bound and like they just look very nice on the outside. They're very sleek. They have like, they don't have rings, like they're bound nicely. If you don't want that and you just want like a decent sketchbook, you can use Canson Mixed Media or Strathmore Mixed Media sketchbooks, and they're like under $10, and I honestly really, really like them because they're so good for the price. So I would recommend those if you don't really care about the way it looks on the outside. You can customize it, you can put stickers. Usually sketchbooks with rings will be cheaper than the sketchbooks that are bound, the like perfect bound sketchbooks. So it really depends like how many sketchbooks you go through and how much you want to invest in art supplies, but I definitely think that some sketchbooks are like really overpriced. Like I personally wouldn't spend more than like $30 on a sketchbook, more than 40. I'm talking Canadian dollars here. But if it's worth it to somebody and they have the funds for it, then I don't see why I should tell them not to, because obviously like you can get a really like fancy schmancy sketchbook if you want to. And some more expensive sketchbooks are more expensive because the paper quality is just better. And it becomes like a pad of like good quality paper rather than like sketchbook paper. So it just kind of depends. Depends on what you want. What tips do you have for simplifying things when drawing/painting? I think something that helped me a lot to simplify things is to do quicker sketches. Don't spend too much time on your sketches if you want to learn how to simplify things. So do gesture drawings. We did this in art school with figure drawing. We would do 30-second gestures, 1-minute gestures, 2-minute gestures, and try to get down the form as quickly as you can. And this kind of trains your eye to see the shapes and the important parts of it and get down the very simple, important things that help you be able to read things better. And I find the more you do that, the better you'll get at simplifying things, because it's really about training your eyes to see. Drawing isn't only just about training your hand to be able to draw, it's about training your eyes to be able to observe things well and pick out what the important parts are. So the more you draw things over and over, and if you draw them quicker, you'll be able to figure out how to simplify things better. That's kind of what worked for me. You just do basic shapes, lines, circles, that kind of thing, like the guidelines. Also, squinting your eyes can help if you want to like simplify something you're trying to draw. You can like literally squint your eyes and it kind of blurs it and allows you to see like the important parts. That's my tip for that. I hope it's helpful. I'm not really sure if it will be. What inspired you to make your new keychain? I love it. I made a frog keychain. It's going to be in my next shop update. It's basically like an acrylic charm of a frog with a star in his stomach and a little star keychain part. I'll put a video of it here. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. I'm going to be making a video showing how I made it. And it'll be in my shop update in July, probably coming pretty soon. There's going to be, I think 3 new sticker designs, and I'm putting up a bunch of old prints and stickers from Patreon that anyone can buy if they want. So it's going to be like a big print sticker update, trying to get rid of some of my like old stock I've had for a while. So keep an eye out for that, and I'm really excited about the keychain. I don't know how well they're going to sell, but people seem to really like them, so I hope you like them too. They're really cute. I love the way they turned out. Best advice you've ever gotten? I think the 2 things that helped me a lot is to remember finished, not perfect. So anything you're working on doesn't have to be perfect. It can be finished without being perfect because nothing is really going to be perfect. So that kind of helps if you're laboring over a painting and you keep adding details and you keep changing things and you're like, I just can't get it to look perfect. But then if you step back and realize it's actually, I could call it finished now and it's fine, it looks fine. Sometimes it's better to just call something done and move on than to labor over it for another 2 hours, changing things that don't really need to be changed and nobody's going to notice except for you. Another thing is one thing at a time. Because I'm an anxious person, I am always thinking about all the things I need to do, all the steps I need to do to complete something. There's always a lot going on in my brain, but when I think one thing at a time, it helps you focus on the tasks that you actually need to get done. It helps you prioritize because you can't do everything at once. You have to pick one thing and go forward with that, and then everything else will fall into place. It kind of stops the overthinking part of my brain and allows me to focus on one thing at a time. Where and what did you study? I studied illustration at Sheridan College. I have a Bachelor of Illustration degree. It was 4 years. I graduated a 1.5-ish ago. So that's what I did. Favorite type of paint? If I had to pick one paint I like over every other paint, I would say gouache, because it's very versatile. You can use it as watercolor in more of a translucent medium, but you can also use it opaque, kind of like acrylics, but it dries matte, which I really like. Because I don't really like when things dry glossy, because it kind of makes your painting difficult to view from multiple angles. Have you ever used alcohol markers? I actually kind of started my channel with Copic markers. If you go to my videos and sort by oldest to newest, you'll see all my first videos were with Copic markers, which are alcohol-based markers. I don't really use them anymore. I actually sold all my Copics like last year because I don't use them and I just wanted someone else to get use out of them. I much prefer to use paint and watercolor and gouache and pencil crayon now, because I found markers too limiting and you have to use special paper for them and you need like all the colors. I just didn't really enjoy them anymore. They weren't really for me. But who knows if I'll use them again in the future. Will you show us a new studio tour? Yes, I will. I don't know when it will be out because I don't know when it will be ready because this is taking a lot longer than I anticipated. But I will show you a new studio tour. I'll show you like the moving and like how I set stuff up, how it's decorated. How did you learn to stop caring what others think and draw the way you like to? I went through a period of time where I was trying to force my style into something that I thought people wanted to see and kind of like strayed away from what I actually wanted to draw. And through art school, I realized what I wanted to draw was like simple, cute things. And I thought that that was like bad for some reason and I shouldn't be drawing that way. But one of my professors told me I should draw that way and I should lean into what I actually want to draw and exaggerate the parts that make my style unique. So it was actually like through art school that I figured that out. And I know some people don't have that experience with art school. They have the opposite experience where they get forced to draw a certain way. But I'm very fortunate that that was my experience because it really helped me grow as an artist. And now I'm just continually trying to find what it is I want to draw and draw that. It really helps if you just draw what feels natural. And if you don't know what feels natural yet, just draw whatever you can think of and it will slowly find you. It's kind of cheesy to be like, you don't need to find your style will find you. But it is kind of true and it does take time. But I think just posting a lot on social media helped me get used to people seeing my art. And the more I did it, the less I started to care what people thought. And as I improved my skills, I felt a little bit more confident drawing what I wanted and posting what I wanted because I felt more confident in myself and my art. So just keep going forward with what you like to draw and try to explore that as much as you can. And don't feel guilty for drawing what you enjoy. I don't know why I always felt guilty for like picking subject matters that I actually enjoy drawing when that is what you should be doing. And of course, it's good to challenge yourself and to sometimes draw things that you might not want to draw and push yourself out of your comfort zone because that's how we grow. But you don't have to do that all the time. You can draw what you enjoy and what you're good at. It's really a balance of the two things that help you grow as an artist. You explore what you really enjoy drawing and what you feel like your calling is, and then you explore some things that you've never really thought about before that you might be able to add into your current style. And to stop caring what others think, that comes with time and age, I think, because as I get older, I'm sort of like caring less what people think about my art and me and everything to do with that. It just comes with experience and time, and I still do care what people think of me, but way less than when I was like a freshman art student and I was so scared of people seeing my sketchbook. And I feel like if I was in person with people, I would be a little bit scared because I'm used to like hiding behind a screen and just showing things virtually. So in person is a bit different. It's a little bit more difficult for sure, but maybe posting on social media helps me with that. By the way, I'm just picking questions out of random, the ones that intrigue me that I might have not answered before or that I feel like I have a good answer to. This one just says, where are you from? I'm from Canada. Born in Canada. I'm still in Canada. Have you ever doubted pursuing art as a job before finishing college? I know this happens to a lot of people, but I feel like I was in a unique situation because I was already making money with my art thanks to YouTube and all my social media stuff. And as I finished college, my numbers were growing a little bit more, except for my last year, when I took a really big break from posting videos, like months and months, I didn't post anything because I was just like struggling with balancing everything in my life and the pandemic was making things difficult. And I just needed time off from videos. I needed to focus on graduating. I don't think I ever doubted art as my career. And I feel like I'm in a unique position when I say that, because everyone around me has always supported me and been very encouraging in everything I'm trying to do with my art as a career. I always knew it's what I wanted to do, but of course, I think I have had doubts where if my numbers go like lower than what they usually are, I kind of get worried, like what if all this stops one day? Like what is my plan B? I don't have a plan B. There's nothing else that I don't know like what I would do for work if like everything just suddenly stopped. So that definitely happens a lot. I just need to remind myself to just keep going, take it one day at a time. Don't worry about things like that because it's best to not worry about things that haven't even happened. But it's easy to worry about it when you see your numbers going down and you're thinking like, is this going to be viable as a career going forward? So I've had those kinds of doubts for sure. But I haven't had doubts in the sense that it's like what I desire to do, because it's always what I've desired to do. And I've been lucky enough to be posting on YouTube for 9 years and started when I was in grade 9, which is a really long time ago. And I just stayed very consistent with it and it grew into something that was able to support me. If you have doubts about becoming an artist, I remember in school, some of my professors were saying that it took them years to become established in their field. So if it doesn't happen right away, don't get discouraged. A lot of them had part-time jobs or full-time jobs and had to do illustration on the side for a few years. And it was more of a side thing until they built it into a larger more sustainable career, but also it might not be for everybody because it is difficult to discipline yourself to draw like all day, every day. And that's okay if you don't want it to be your full-time career. You can do it on the side, you can do it as a hobby, you can just go to fairs and sell things there. It doesn't have to be everything that you do. You can do multiple things. And that works for some people as well. So it really will take some time for you to figure out if you want it to be your job. It might take some time to figure out, and of course, everybody doubts themselves, but if you really want it, I do think it is possible to achieve it to some level. Because so many people do it. There's so many, there's actually a lot of art jobs out there, and people say like, if you're gonna be an artist, you're gonna be a starving artist, which really isn't true because there's a lot more jobs out there than people realize. You just have to find them. And I'm not really that experienced in the freelance side of things. I am doing something right now. I'm doing a card game called Varmints. I'll link it below. It's client work that someone commissioned me to do a bunch of illustrations for a cute little card game. So I'm doing that. But that kind of just came to me in an email. I didn't go out and search for it. So I don't really have the best advice in terms of finding like freelance jobs. So basically, I have doubted myself, but I always knew it's what I desired to do. But I have doubted like, what if this doesn't work out? What if it all stops one day? But I try to not think about that too much. I think this will be my last question, and it's, what's your favorite animal to draw? I think I have to say birds, just because they're easy to draw and it's fun to stylize them and change their shape and draw them in different poses. They're kind of my go-to thing to draw when I don't know what to draw. So I'd say birds. I also like to draw frogs and dogs and cats, any little critter, but birds are by far my favorite. I hope you enjoyed this little Q&A video. I just wanted to post something just to like get my channel back out there after taking a bit of a break from moving. Also, there's still time to sign up for June for Patreon if you want to grab a capybara print, a sketchbook page with a capybara on it and lots of other little critters, and a capybara sticker. I can actually show you the sticker because I have it. This is the sticker. It's a little capybara with some oranges. It's definitely inspired by that photo / video that shows up when you search capybara, of a little capybara sitting in a pond, a little bath with an orange on his head, and there's oranges floating in the water. They just look so chill. Like they don't really care about anything. They just want to vibe and chill and just relax, which honestly, like, I wish I could be more like that. So June is the capybara month. If you want to get your capybara package, you can go check it out on Patreon. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this was interesting to you. I have lots of videos planned for July, so I gotta get to work on those. I gotta get my studio set up. I'm getting a rug. It's grass green, which is kind of a bold choice, but I think it's gonna be really fun and I'm excited to show you. I wanna get another table. I wanna get more shelves. I need more room for inventory. I'm starting to feel a little more settled. It took me a while to kind of adjust to living away from home, because I've lived in my home for, how old am I? I've lived with my parents for 24 years, so it's been an adjustment, but I'm trying my best to like become the adult I've always wanted to be. So thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next video.